Hello everybody, I'm Danrvdtree2000, also known as Dan 2x15 on Xbox Live, and I just watched Wrestlemaina Night 1, and this, Wrestlemaina 38 Night 1, was without a doubt, like they said, one of the most stupendous WrestleManias of all time. And I have to agree, there were some really good moments there, and I loved every single match in that WrestleMania Night 1. And I mean every match, and I'll go through with you my reaction and reviews technically, but it's kind of like a review most likely. But my god, we kicked off with the Smackdown Tag Team Championship match, and there was a really good matchup. There was and some really good attires as per usual, but there was a lot of, throughout the entire night, there was a lot of shots to the crowd and going back to what happened previously, which I feel they could have done without those shots type of thing. But with that being said, I feel like I'm wearing the perfect t-shirt here. My Austin 316 t-shirt is perfect for this because that is the person that main evented WrestleMania Night 1. I'll get to that in a minute, but going back to the Smackdown matchup, Smackdown Tag Team titles, the Usos defending their titles against Rick Boogs and Shinsuke Nakamura. Very good entrances and a very good match until the end, right about halfway through. I feel like it was cut short due to the Rick Boogs getting injured in that matchup, but stuff happened, you know. If you're carrying two guys on your shoulders, no matter how much strong you may, no matter how strong you are, your structure, Rick Boogs is not as tall as you think. He doesn't look that tall to me. He's just really big built, and it wasn't enough to carry both Usos, and his knee just gave in. So he will be having surgery for it, and hopefully we'll get to see him come back soon. I wish him a speedy recovery because of that spot. Shinsuke Nakamura came this close to winning the matchup as he hit the Kinshasa, missed the Kinshasa, but the Usos were too much for him in the handicap spot, and they ended the match by hitting the 1D, and that was a one and done, and still the tag team champions, the Usos. Oh man, I'm so tired, I can't believe it. As we go on to the next matchup, as it was Drew McIntyre went one-on-one with Happy Corbin, and their rivalry, my god, it started at day one and it's ended at WrestleMania. It was a really good fight. There was a moment in time where I thought that Baron Corbin, Happy Corbin, whatever you like to call him, won that matchup. He hit the end of days, and I was like, well, this is over. No one's ever kicked out of the end of days until now. Drew McIntyre, I made a prediction that he was going to kick out at least at one, but no, he sold it very well. It went one, the referee went 1, 2, and as it was coming down for the 3 count, BAM! Shoulder up! Drew McIntyre was the first person to kick out of the end of days, and after that, it was just pretty much done. I knew that McIntyre was going to win. Future Shock DDT, Claymore right to the face, 1, 2, 3, Drew McIntyre wins. Then, next, we had the Mysterios take on The Miz and Logan Paul, and very good attires from both Rey Mysterio, Dominic Mysterio, and of course Logan Paul and The Miz themselves. Although the attire for Logan Paul and The Miz was based off of Pikachu. If it wasn't for the fact the announcers were saying, hey, that's not a dog tag or whatever it is, that's not a medallion or whatever around the neck of Logan Paul, that is a Pokemon card inside a case around his neck, It was, in fact, it's held the world record for the most expensive Pokemon card ever to be sold, and Logan Paul is the one that bought that card for, I think, over $20,000. I think he paid for that Pokemon card, and it's Pikachu. It was a Pikachu Pokemon card. So you can't tell me that the yellow and black attires that The Miz and Logan Paul had weren't based off of Pikachu, which was who was the Pokemon that was on the Pokemon card. That was very good, very well done, and the fact that Rey Mysterio wore a Mexican attire and Dominic wore an American attire because, well, Rey Mysterio has a Mexican heritage, and even though he comes from San Diego, California, he was born in Mexico. Dominic, he was born in the United States, so it makes sense for him, because they them combined, you know, Rey Mysterio is, you know, Mexican, and his wife, I believe, is American, I think. You might want to correct me, I don't know, but anyway, but he's Dominic isn't. He was born in America, so that was a very good, nice touch. The fact that it's combining them both, like Rey Mysterio's Mexican heritage, and the fact that, you know, Dominic was born American, Mexican American. So it's very nice. So it's in the short Latino American, I believe. So yeah, that was a good touch there. The match itself was magnificent. I liked it. Kudos to Paul, Logan Paul. I gotta admit, he pulled off some really good moves. It was all smooth, choreographed moves. I must admit, that was very great to see. The finish of the match was very good too, as I believe the Mysterios were going for the 619, and I thought that you know, the Miz was going to take the hit for the 619 as well, but he actually made the tag and dropped down to the outside, and from behind hit Rey Mysterio with the skull crushing finale. 1, 2, 3. Logan Paul and the Miz win. That surprised me 100%. That was pretty cool. But you know what was also pretty cool? The Raw Women's Championship match between Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair. Very good matchup. One of the two match of the nights, I will admit. Some very close calls, close finishes. I mean, we had the KOD attempt that was thrown over the top rope. That was very good. We had, you know, Becky Lynch hitting a manhandle slam at the beginning with Bianca Belair kicking out. Very good matchup. In the end, it was the KOD onto Becky Lynch, and Bianca Belair becoming the new Raw Women's Champion. Loved every second of that matchup. Congratulations to Bianca Belair. Next match, ladies and gentlemen. Well, it was finally time to see Seth Rollins come down to the ring, and a grand entrance. I must admit that there were some grand entrances for Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch, and good attires to match. Seth Rollins dripped freaking like he never dripped before. He came out magnificent as per usual, having a choir or some type of a cappella group sing his theme song. That was quite good. I enjoyed that, and I'm gonna rant most likely, but I'm gonna save this for another video. I'm gonna just make this short and sweet. Please, internet YouTubers, WWE YouTubers, or wrestling YouTubers, all I can say is, if by miracle somebody that does internet wrestling is watching this video, I very much doubt it, but let me know in the comments if you agree with this. I do wish they would stop telling us who is going where. Like, I'm going to give you one example and that's it. For example, let's just say the most recent person to debut on AEW is Tony Storm. Now, no doubt that any AEW fans out there probably didn't know that, unless it was thanks to the internet itself. that news was on Facebook. Everywhere. Unless it's AEW saying, yeah, on their actual page, we're welcoming Tony Storm, that's fine. But I do wish they would stop doing that. I do wish WWE wrestling fans, I should say, would stop doing that. But that's for another video, as we go on to back to Seth Rollins, because the opponent, surprise opponent, wasn't really a surprise, because of that. I'm going to relate back to the internet fans, because let's face it, we all kind of knew it was going to be no other than Cody Rhodes, because the news broke on the internet, all over the internet, thanks to the wrestling internet community, that he re-signed with WWE. So I had it in my head, and I even had it on my predictions, and I thought that it's possible that we're going to have one of the three happen: Bray Wyatt, Shane McMahon, or Cody Rhodes. I'm glad I was right with Cody Rhodes, and my god, it was a big pop. It would have been even bigger if it wasn't for the internet ruining the fact that he re-signed. And while I was watching, I was thinking to myself that I was 100% right now, that Vince McMahon and Cody Rhodes and Tony Khan are all working together, trading off superstars back and forth. I can tell you now, with the fact that we had Mickie James appear in the Royal Rumble, now we got Cody Rhodes re-signing with WWE, I genuinely think they can't piss this one out. But I'm hoping that this is going to be going also. This WrestleMania win for Cody Rhodes. Yeah, there was no way that they were going to fuck this up. So yeah, Cody Rhodes returns at WrestleMania, taking on Seth Rollins. By God, match of the night, without false finishes everywhere, and Cody is just as good as he was back in the day. Even made a little tribute to several people. One did is a little tribute to his old character, and the commentator said it correct the way I was thinking, shedding the past and saying, hey, he did the old Stardust, Tom, that was clever enough. Not only that, at the end of the match he hit 2 crossroads, then he followed it up with the whole bionic elbow, paying tribute to his dad, and he also paid tribute to Goldust, his brother Dustin Rhodes, who's still on AEW as we speak. But I had this sneaky suspicion that we're gonna see Dustin Rhodes return to WWE, because let's face it, he is pretty much in good terms with Vince McMahon himself. I'm pretty sure we could probably see him return eventually. He said and has said he'll be with AEW for quite some time, but what's the betting that he'll be back soon? If Cody can make it back, then so can Dustin Rhodes, I think. I'd like to imagine that with Cody Rhodes getting the Drew McIntyre treatment, we're going to see big things from Cody Rhodes. My God, and he wasn't the only person to return to a wrestling action in WWE. I'll get to that in a minute, as we saw Ronda Rousey go to the Royal Rumble winner, go one-on-one with Charlotte Flair for the Smackdown Women's Championship. And to be honest, I said it in my predictions that I wanted Charlotte Flair to win, because I generally just don't like Ronda Rousey. She was shoved down her throats at the beginning when she came into the WWE, and then she got booed out the building, and now she's back, and we got hypocrites cheering her for some whatever reason. I didn't. I'm glad that Charlotte won, even though it was a controversial, referee bump type of thing at the end. I'm glad she retained here, as it was Ronda Rousey made her tap out, but the referee was knocked out, so the referee didn't see it, even though he counted to 3 at one point. But the rope break, she was like, hey, you had to wave it up. I just saw that as it was like 2.7 millimeters away from calling for the match to end, but he's like, nope, foot's on the rope, can't do much about that, I'm calling it off. Good decision by Charles Robinson, by the way. Kudos to that. But in the end, referee got knocked out, and big boot from Charlotte after the referee got bucked back on his feet because, you know, she tapped out. She knew the referee was out. She knew that Charles Robinson was taken out. So that was it. Taking advantage of it, the big boot, still the SmackDown Women's Champion, Charlotte Flair. I can't wait to see who she faces next. But then we get down to the main event. By the way, there was a match scrapped, which I'm kind of glad. The New Day versus Red Holland and Sheamus was scrapped. I'm pretty sure that can be done on a SmackDown or a Raw. Yes, I think they're on SmackDown. Yeah, I believe that can be easily done to SmackDown after WrestleMania. That there was no need to have that match. Unless it was a kickoff show that I missed, I very much doubt it. So we got to the Kevin Owens show. Kevin Owens came out, dressed for a fight, I might add. We're babbling on and trash-mouthing Texas once again, and Stone Cold trash-mouthing Stone Cold Steve Austin. And of course Stone Cold Steve Austin comes out doing his usual, you know, taunts, and the corner gets rid of the sign and the tripod that was holding up the sign that says KO show, and does the same thing on the other side. His knee brace came undone, he put it back up, and Kevin Owens was like, you know what, fuck this, no. This is my show, I want you to sit down and listen to what I have to say. Once again, right in Austin's face, bad mouth in Texas, bad mouth in Stone Cold Steve Austin said, hey, I lied to you, I don't want to talk, I want to fight, I want a match, not just any match, a no holds barred match, and Stone Cold did his usual, if you want to see Stone Cold Steve Austin take out this shit, then give me a hell yeah. Crowd pops and gives him a hell yeah. I said, I can't hear you, give me a hell yeah. They do the same again. Then, even with the word shitbag and everything, it's goddamn that the word goddamn that gets bleeped out. Huh? As Austin's like, hey, give me a goddamn ref. Good match. Good to see Austin that he's actually able to still go. I love to see it. He took a fucking gnarly suplex on the outside onto the goddamn concrete. That couldn't have been good for his neck and his back. But he whooped some ass. He basically drank beer throughout the entire night, and it was a hell of a match. Kevin Owens pulled off took a bump for a table, and he got some more effects in, but in the end, Stone Cold Steve Austin got Kevin Owens back in the ring. He took him for a ride on the quad bike that Stone Cold rode to the ring when he made his entrance. He threw him back down to the ramp, and he took a big tumble like WWE 2K style when I'm doing my matches. They fall on the floor like idiots on the outside, and that's what happened to Kevin Owens. He got Kevin Owens back in that ring. Kevin Owens at one point had the steel chair, was gonna whack him with the steel chair, but it didn't happen. Nothing came from it. He whacked him with it. It actually did it Rock style. When the Rock hit the steel chair and it bounced back off of him, landing in his face, got dazed and confused, turns round, Stone Cold's waiting for him, kick, stunner, 1, 2, 3, oh hell yeah, the fans in Dallas, Texas go home happy. And he gives him another stunner for his troubles, kicks him out of the ring, celebrates with Steve Weiser's. And, well, you know, he even invites Byron Saxton in the ring, and he gives him the beer, and gives him a stunner for his troubles for shutting him up at ringside. And Corey Graves couldn't have been happier. And then celebrates with his brother. That's what you like to see. Fans go home happy. Great night one. I would like to say fucking 5 stars for WrestleMania Night 1, 2 thumbs up from me. Oh hell yeah! And if you think that WrestleMania Night 2 is gonna be even better, then let me know in the comments by giving me a hell yeah. But I'm Danrvdtree2000, as I was Dan 2x15 on Xbox Live, and I'm gonna see you for WrestleMania Night 2 review. And until next time, goodbye! Thank you very much for watching this video. If you want to watch the previous video, click on the video on the left. But if you want to watch the playlist, then click on the video on the right. Also, feel free to click subscribe by clicking on the Master Chief icon on the top.